Greetings, fellow crewmates. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey Grav Runners. Episode 38, Surveying Local Stockpiles. Alright, I also noted that there was an opportunity to do some trade. So I'm going to grab some of our materials and run them over to the adjacent... wow, I went through a lot of grav light panels, holy hell. Run them over to the adjacent colony and see what they have to buy. I'd also like to put the architect leg into someone. Likely, as I said, it's going to go into Puig, because a brawler that can dodge is a brawler that stays alive longer. That makes the most sense to me. So I don't even think I'm going to pull for it. Speaking of which, let's do that now. Puig, right leg, architect. And his old bionic leg, I'm going to hold onto, because no one has an injury, and I'm planning on not having elective surgeries. I'm only going to have surgeries where there's, like, a need. So one of the issues we're going to have on this map tile is because there's no steel, I'm going to need to do another hop to mine up steel. But this was a fun little shore excursion. And maybe I can buy some steel from the trade opportunity once the rest of the stuff is loaded up. I did use a whole lot of hunter packs, so I'm going to want to replace those. Okay, I think Pierogi probably ate some of the packaged meals that I was loading up. Don't really care, not a big deal. Oh, we're back to Goworth? So they wouldn't have had time to refresh their trade opportunities. That's fine. I mean, we're mostly here for silver, and they have lots of that. There is a possibility of buying that architect part, and given that Ruinloft is already missing an eye, we could just upgrade his eye. So let's do it. That was a big purchase, and we'll be done with this map tile very, very quickly because there's almost nothing here, just animals. Alright, Mr. Ruinloft, you're going to become even scarier. So it was your left eye that needs the architecting? And in 6 hours, we'll be able to start hacking the thing again. All the uranium has been acquired. And I'm changing this, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm changing this side to match the other side in terms of design. So let's see. I'll put one tool bench there. Much nicer layout, I think. Okay. Ancient stockpile can be hacked. Glitch is doing it. And then we'll be on our way. Also looks like we burned up pretty much all the chem fuel. So I guess before we launch, let's cut down some more trees too. All of the recent jumps burn through our chem supply. Yeah, Ruinloth is definitely... So the concept here, of the original characters, Glitch was like the scientist of the server team, and Ruinloth was like the guard, the shock trooper. So of the 3 starters, Ruinloth by design was the muscle, which is why he is the way he is and why he's so rough around the edges. It was very much intentional. Wow, our stockpile's looking pretty barren now, which is probably a good thing. It got a little clogged up before. And there we go. Ancient stockpile's open. Once Puig's up, we'll head down there. And I'm probably going to head down there with people that don't do plant cut, so our plant cutters can continue to work. So that would be not Fangface or Glitch, I guess. Although Glitch is going to be researching, so like not Fangface. I think we need Klein down here to help hack. Because we can't explore much of this without help from a hacker. And we're so low on steel, I can't even finish the Grav Ship haul here. That's how steel poor we are. I'm gonna destroy a Firephone Popper. That should help. Okay, we don't need to bother hacking this door. Ew, bugs. God, I hate finding bugs. There's the medicine. Technically speaking, like, once you find the thing the stockpile says it has, there's generally not a lot of value in anything else that's down here. It's possible you'll find more loot, but it's certainly no guarantee that will be decent. But if we want to go through those bugs, we're obviously going to need a lot more backup. Oh, I shouldn't have dropped all of that. I should pick up 3. Uh-oh, I think Klein's being chased by wasps. Shoot! Quick, get down there. So... Turtle, Ruinloth, good. Go down there too. And there, Klein. We're coming. Wasps are weak, but they really do swarm the hell out of you. Alright, Ruinloth, thank you. We got gravelite panels. Well, that's good, because we're actually kind of low on them. We used them as a trade good, and then ended up needing some. Some of that was just the signal jammer costs, I think, like 80 to build, something like that. Yeah, 80. And then the power costs like 45, 50. So that's where a lot of it went, which is reasonable. So if we want to go fight the bugs, I'm going to need to move the dead body. I'm also going to get rid of the, like, junk in the room that will physically block me from having a good fight path. Here, buggies. Incendiary rounds in a really enclosed space is actually kind of dangerous, I realize. Because there's nowhere to vent the heat down here. So if you end up using incendiary rounds, it's like, uh-oh, we're cooking ourselves. That's something, that's a mechanic that I seldom see in video games. Where, like, you'll have a cave or some other enclosed space, and you're, like, using flame-based weapons. It's like, you know, everyone would die of carbon monoxide poisoning in, like, a few minutes, right? Using a flamethrower underground in a cave. Like, you just be dead. That's not reasonable. Unless you have, like, rebreathers or oxygen tanks. Alright, and even more medicine. I guess we'll do it. The insect jelly can't hurt. And this will give us even more meds, and then whatever else is down this way. I like these little stockpiles. They're fun. I mean, they're very exploitable in terms of, like, you can live down here and, like, never be attacked a day in your life. They're also, if you're wondering, a really good depository for toxic waste packs, because I don't think they pollute the parent tile. Meaning that if you have a bunch of, toxic waste packs, you could just come down here, dump them, and be done with it. Which is super exploitative. So, I do feel like some of those, like, let's call them loopholes, probably should be patched at some point so that they can't be exploited in that way. And we're almost done with the stockpile. Can you dig down here? Yeah, you could. You could bust the walls and build larger. I mean, it is a pretty finite space, but this would still be a pretty big base in the scheme of things. Thank you, Runloth. Alright, here we go. Last room, probably. Yep, and there's nothing in it. So we're done. Alright, Queek, you need a rest. Glitch tend. So, although it is a little expensive, I was going to rebuild the orbital scanner here once we have the steel for it, so that I can expand the hospital. Because the hospital is honestly pretty small. And if we're trying to fight the mechanoid hive, we're going to want, you know, we're going to want more recovery rooms, I think. Yeah, one of the issues you're going to have in the ancient stockpile is dealing with heat buildup, because it's all overhead mountain. So it's hard to cool the area unless you have mods like the VE Ancients mod that allows you to like have AC units that don't need venting. So there are some disadvantages, of course, but I think there's more advantages than disadvantages. How's our... Oh, and our meat is looking fine. We obviously resupplied a lot. So the next hop that we're going to make is to... Because now we have like 100... We have so much medicine, it's ridiculous. Our next hop is going to be for steel. Mine steel and build guns. Very, very straightforward. Deconstruct the structures. The structures around here are mostly stone. As far as like... investment of time, I would say deconstructing ruins is a bit of a waste of time. Like there's a faster way to get, oh, you know, before we launch, we should probably, yeah, we should haul the wood in. But before the next launch, let's see if there's any fun survey spots to go to. We could do the chem stockpile and the ancient garrison, now that we don't need the food. So yeah, let's do that, because then we'll be moving closer to the crashed mechanoid platform. I like it. Yeah, and I'm super hauling now, so we'll have all that pulled in a moment. Ooh, and we found another garrison. All right. That was from one of the maps we grabbed. Oh, speaking of which, there was no safes down here, right? 3 sealed crates that we opened. Okay, yeah, we got everything. So there's still about 1,200 wood yet to be pulled. Isn't the bug cave partially outdoors? I forget. There might be what looks to be sunshine, but I don't think it's actually physically outside. All right, now we're ready for a launch. Oh, nice. They're next to one another. That's really convenient. So I'd like to park next to steel, and there's a bunch of steel here. So we'll just drop in like this. So the steel is so that we can add slug turrets and autocannon turrets to the ship to make the ship even more ridiculous. And then there's a stockpile there. So the on this map tile, there's an ancient garrison. So a long abandoned military structure still may contain valuable items, and then the outside is chem fuel, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, that's rude. Open the door and immediately get wasped in the face. Which reminds me, there'll be dead bodies down there. We're in there. Okay, here is some guns. None of them look any good, though. Oh, so maybe the chem fuel's down, and then this is the military stockpile. I had it backwards. But yeah, none of those are masterwork weapons or unique weapons. And none of the crates here have valuables in them. Oh, fine. I guess good luck brawling? I mean, you do have an architect leg. Your dodge rate's probably amazing. The problem with them is they stun lock you so bad. What I could have done is take one more step and trigger the hunter trap and have the hunter trap blow up on the wasps. Oh shoot, shield belt. Near depleted. I'm guessing a lot of these terminals are to turn off the turrets or open blast doors. Unfortunately, Puig can't hack, so it's kind of moot. So Mr. Runloth, Berry. Oh, we even have ancient soldiers in here. And Glitch is trying to open up the chem stockpile. Shells? I don't want shells on our ship. That's just a recipe for disaster. Okay, so the weapon stockpile was lame as hell. There's not a single weapon I even want to pull out of the stockpile. So all it was the labor of burying corpses, really. Oh well. Wildlife to hunt? Wilmalopes, don't really care. Wouldn't be a bad idea for me to top up on as much components as I can, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of compacted stuff here. There's a little machinery, 2 nodes of it, and some steel, but that's about it. So it was pretty mine light. Might as well grab this silver, because it's not an inconvenience. And then, if we really need steel, I could just, like, break the shelves down, because it's adjacent to the ship, so it's not, like, a long way to run. So it's not that inconvenient. Now I think about it, I probably want the door here instead of where I put it. Because this is going to be a roofless section. So I don't want an unroofed section inside of my ship. You always wonder about ancient soldiers. I've never seen them with unique weapons. I don't think that that's part of their spawn code. So I don't think that there's ever a reason to kill them for that. With that said, in this series, we're a survey team. I know we do a lot of combat. It's RimWorld. Combat's kind of unavoidable, but I'm not out hunting for combat either. So, in terms of spawn code, if you're wondering, ancient soldiers in RimWorld are always going to be baseliners. In their pockets, they can have like plasteel or gold or advanced components, but that's pretty much. And then they might be wearing recon or marine armor, but that is the extent of their like loot pool, for lack of a better term. So, unless you need that subset of loot, they're, in my opinion, not really worth clearing. Because a lot of the times, you'll end up having to fight, like, go-juiced, you know, Roy Raging idiots. And it's just harder than it needs to be. So I'm putting slug turrets here, and then these will be autocannon turrets. And that will be... I think there might be room for... maybe I'll put slugs here as well. And that will be the extent of the external ship guns. So we're nearly done with all the ship guns that I want to add. It just requires more steel than I have at the moment. Alright, stockpile is ready for exploration. If we head down. Hunter trap, come on, blow the turret up with me. 2 for 1 special. There's the chem fuel. Dangerous. You don't want a hunter trap blown up in the chem fuel, so we're gonna have to drag that hunter trap well outside so it doesn't take out our prize. So I wonder what happens if I just exit. Just chilling here. Okay, no one goes in for another 5 hours. I mean, Puig was about to go to sleep anyway, so I'll have it wander around for 5 more hours, and then... I'm a little worried it will, like... Well, I don't know what happens. Does it blow up on its own? Let's hope it doesn't take out the chem fuel, because that's a lot of chem fuel to lose. But, yeah, I'll take the risk, because it's kind of funny. All right. Something else we ought to do, because I hadn't done it in a while, is to build roofs over the turret areas so as to somewhat protect them from orbital debris. Oh, what's the 2x2 item left of the pilot's console? This thing? Signal jammer. So the signal jammer allows you to visit the trade guild bases. As you can see, requires the signal jammer to approach. And then also attack the Mech Hive. Requires the signal jammer to approach. So the Mech Hive and the trade bases have giant orbital guns, which would shoot your ship down. Basically, you're not allowed to go there unless you have a jammer. And one of the goals of this series is to defeat the Mech Hive so that the server team is unharassed by them. So having a jammer is exactly what we need to get that done. I don't... Yeah, it just died. Cool. Its core just shut off. Nice. So that's what happens. Have an answer. Alright, Glitch, let's get down there, because there was a lot of other doors to hack. And then Puig will be joining you in just a moment. Oh, that's weird. You were tidying up the shelves? Don't do that. Okay, don't bother hacking that. And then Runloth, I think we're going to need you down there too. To move some bodies around. Luciferium. Alright, dead bodies. Let's put them up there. And it is, a lot of clicking and effort to get all that loot out from the stockpiles. That's a lot of, it's a lot of chem fuel. We're gonna have so much chem fuel at the end of this, it'll be ridiculous. Alright, Fangface, you wanna go haul some? Alright, we got bugs. We'll need to do some bug extermination. Unfortunately, that's like directly, ah, shoot, exactly what I was feared would happen. Directly on the ladder. So Glitch, get over here. Good. Not too many injuries. No, that was melee attack. Hack, 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 hack. Another hunter. Okay, all the chem fuel has been grabbed. Probably don't need to hack that, given that there's a door here, but whatever. It's to a dead body. Okay. Wasp traps. We're gonna want backup for that. Let's just get a lot of backup for that, so that Puig doesn't end up riddled full of little wounds. He's also, I should probably start queuing up spare marine armor, because he's wearing out his marine armor pretty quick. A doomsday launcher. Well, that's a find. More dead bodies. Ruin lot, that's all you. One thing I have not been doing, which I ought to do, given that I just found a doomsday launcher, is check the corpses that I'm looting. I had mentioned this before, but there's a non-zero chance that the dead bodies on the ground will have, like, doomsday launchers as equipment that is not biocoded. I've seen it once, and I do a really bad job of, like, checking that stuff. Oh, shoot. Klein, actually, come back. I need another hacker. Alright, last one is bugs. Guarding medicine. These insect hives are, like, really easy to destroy, and the mood benefit from destroying them is, like, not inconsequential. Because they're micro hives, but you still get the same mood bonus. So it is a pretty good... I mean, being down here, obviously it's, like, dark and filthy, so it's horrible for those reasons. But the bonus you get from all the defeated hives outweighs it. Like, we have a plus 11 from all the hives, right? Like, that's a lot of mood. That's a lot of high mood from doing very little work. Plus, Queek barely has injuries. What's the mood decay from the hives? Oh, speaking of which. What do you mean, like, the time it takes for you to lose the mood? You've got 10 days. So it's a very generous amount of time for you to enjoy the I killed insect hive. And as I was mentioning about balance before, I do feel like it's you get maybe too much stuff from these stockpiles. Like a lot, I would say Odyssey more than any of the other DLCs seems like the least balanced. It puts a lot more power in the player's hand than any other DLCs before. By like a fair order of magnitude. Like a fully geared ship can leave before any raid other than pod drop raiders landing on your head can mess with you. Like, that's incredible. Being able to resource strip multiple zones is so powerful. Like, there's just so many tools now in the player's hands to be able to absolutely dominate any sort of threat that they might face. Sidecasters is kind of on that level of power. Yeah, but no, you really have to work pretty hard for sidecasting. You have to do a lot of meditation. You have to do a lot of, like, tree worship or royalty grinding or working for the neuroformers. Like, it does pay off, obviously, but, like, the moment you have a Grav Ship and you can just, like, hop around and, like, strip loot, you build up a level of wealth that is really easy to protect, because anytime anyone threatens you, you just zip away. Right? That's why I'm saying it's, like, so stupidly powerful. It's not a complaint, you know, it's a single-player game. It doesn't need to be balanced, and certainly you can just decide to fight all your fights, but it does put an incredible amount of power in the player's hands. That much is, I think, pretty undeniable. So we're getting pretty close to the final form of the ship. The 3 turrets that I've queued up are the last 3 turrets I'm going to build. Some of these uninstalled turrets, my plan was to just install them in the middle of the ship, so that if we do end up with pod drop raiders that land on us, we have some defenses in the middle of the ship to be able to handle that. So the question for you guys is, where do we hop to next? We could go to the Grav Corps. We could go to the Aegis Hub. We could go to the garrison. Or something of my choice. So, Grav Corps, garrison, Aegis Hub, my choice. As far as power goes, one more Grav Corps is probably all the power I'm really reasonably going to need. And what I'd like to do this stream is to get ready for the Mech Hive fight, and the next stream do the Mech Hive fight. Because the Mech Hive fight itself will take a while. It will take about a stream's worth of effort to clear out the Mech Hive. And that's why I'm adding all these guns, so that our pacifistic survey, well, alright, calling them pacifists is a bit of a joke, but the server team has the means to defeat the Mech Hive. So if you're wondering about that, in my headcanon for this story, the server team was dispatched to this planet here to survey it. And their ship got shot down upon arrival by the Mech Hive. And the Mech Hive has been chasing them ever since. So they do want to fulfill their contracts to their employer being the people that hired them to survey this area. But at the same time, they do not. In order to do that, they have to defeat the Mech Hive. So they've had to recruit locals to be able to defeat the Mech Hive as a result of their like contractual obligations, if you will. Okay, something else I want to do for the ship, maybe move these turrets a little bit, is I would like to maybe put the Grav Corps somewhere physically more secure than where they are now. So having like a Grav Corps room, for lack of a better term. One that would withstand raid harassment. It doesn't need to be like... it doesn't necessarily need to be uranium, but something like this, so that if pod drop raiders landed on me, they couldn't just like loot my Grav Corps and screw me up, I guess. So I'm gonna stick the Grav Corps in these little cubby holes. No, you guys are leaving it up to me about where to go to next. So there's a few different other options. I would like to, because we've been to Scarlands in this series, but I haven't yet been to lava flows or glow forests. There's a lava field not too far away, but if I go to a lava field, I kind of want to hit up Obsidian, because that'd be pretty cool. So I think there was there's wild strawberry plants growing around lava. That's interesting. I thought there was an obsidian zone up here. Maybe it was further up. Maybe it was in this cluster. Yeah, so there's obsidian deposits there. I think we'll be able to hop there. So if you're having to be my choice, I think we're going to go mine obsidian for next hop. Couldn't I just close off the rooms with strong walls? Hypothetically, I could, yeah. And not get access to it? I could do that. The thing is, I don't generally like to design in such a way that I don't have physical access to the area. Because there's a non-zero chance that, like, an enemy will pod drop raid onto my ship and land in that room. And if they do that, and I have walls all around it, they'll have no choice but to attack the pods, the power cells themselves. So basically building unpathable sections of my ship could be setting my ship up to have those unpathable sections be destroyed as a result, which is why I wouldn't want to design in that way. That has, if you're wondering, happened to me before. And it's annoying. Alright, we'll need about 200 steel, and we're done with all the turrets. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey Grav Runners, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video, which you'll never read, because I know you don't. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Grav Runners.